Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Now, I don't want to get too excited, but I do want to say a couple of things. Firstly, Chelsea did do what I said they wouldn't do. So, for that, thank goodness, finally, Chelsea Football Club not only scored a goal, but Chelsea Football Club got a win. Chelsea have now scored goal of the month. Congratulations, Nicholas Jackson. He gets that by default because it's the only goal Chelsea have scored this month. But not only that, it means Chelsea have gone on to win. Now, the second thing I wanted to say, Brighton just got knocked out by a 14th place Premier League team. Diddums. Unlucky Brighton. But you know what? Look, I'm going to be completely real as I tell all of you to make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. In this match review today, right now, we are going to get cracking. And I think it was a tale of two halves. A tale of two halves. I said this about Manchester United. I'm going to say it about Chelsea right now. It wasn't the best performance by a country mile, and I'm going to explain the two tales. I've lost my words. Basically, both halves were very different to each other, but a win is a win. Right now, I couldn't care less how we got it. I couldn't care less if we had 1% possession, one shot, 1-0. I couldn't care. We got the win, and that's the most important thing. That's going to be the confidence booster. Now, that is one thing that we learned tonight. The one thing we learned tonight is that a lot of these players, the young ones specifically, were completely short of confidence in every single way. And for the way that Chelsea have been playing and how it's accumulated itself, but there are players tonight that couldn't even control a ball, and that is absolutely ridiculous. But that was the first half. We came out for the second half, and it's like we flipped everything on its head. Thankfully. So when you take it in consideration, when you take it into that sort of context, I'm glad second half Chelsea somewhat woke up and got things moving. And after the goal, you could start to see everyone get lifted. Even the way that we started to move the ball. It was a lot more direct and a lot more confident. You could see that when players were getting the ball, it wasn't a case of panic any longer. You could see players were getting the ball and they were turning and they were passing, they were moving, they were in an element of relaxation compared to the panic that they were going through in the first half for various reasons. I have to say that first half was absolutely abysmal in every sense of the word. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was surprised we went in at 0-0. It was embarrassing, but I was surprised it was 0-0. I thought Brighton would go 2 up easy by that point. Specifically, Robert Sanchez. And he's an example. Because in the first half, he come out looking like he was playing for Brighton. Like he forgot what club he was playing for. Like he forgot he signed for Chelsea. He saw Brighton and went, yep, I'll play for Brighton. Oh, no, wait. No. I left, didn't I? I played for Chelsea. Yeah, damn, I forgot. I thought I was wearing a Brighton badge. That was him in the first half. In the second half, he was making flipping weldy saves and doing all sorts. And his passes were on point. And I'm like, what happened in the dressing room at half-time? Whatever it was, I like it. Whatever happened at half-time, I like it. Do it again. Every game, right? Because, as I said, it was a tale of two halves. That's what I was looking to say earlier on. A tale of two halves. So, when you look into the players that played today, actually, before we get into it, I have to say this early. Can I just say, I think we now understand why we have VAR in this country. Why were we the first ones? No, we weren't the first ones to implement VAR, were we? I don't think we were. I think it was Spain or France, and then eventually it got to us. But I can understand why it's here. We're not in a position to tell ourselves that we don't need it. We absolutely need it. And you're taking it from someone that's not a big fan of VAR. But bloody hell, when you see refereeing like we saw tonight, please keep VAR. In every sense of the word, I don't care, keep it, because these guys don't know what they're doing. The officiating is an absolute joke. It's a farce. The referees tonight, When I say referees, there was no VAR. The linesman can only do what the linesman was doing. But linesman lifting up flags for offsides that weren't offsides, and the officiating by the referee himself today was a joke in every sense of the word. I have to say, joke for maybe both teams. We got to be honest, because we're lucky Ugochukwu didn't get sent off. Straight, easy red. Easy red. In the Premier League, that's given us a red. If it's not immediately, it's given after the VAR. Easily. So we would have gone down to 10. So we're lucky for that. But on top of that, the Jackson goal disallowed? What? For what? Offside. It wasn't offside. By a mile. He was way on. When you look at the replay, he was way on. Now, unless if someone got fouled that wasn't on the camera angle that we saw, I don't know, but it didn't look like it. Not only that, Broya, at the end, is running from within his own half. And the linesman flags it offside. I'm like, listen, mate, do you know the rules? Do you need to have a little run through of the rules? Do we need to... we know what? We're going to run through the rules, right? I got my nice little Chelsea handbook. We're going to go through the rules. I've got the rules in here. Go to page 23, chapter 4, verse 51. I feel like I'm reading from the Bible. Thou shalt not give offside when player runs from own half. There you go, you know. It's just this ridiculous. What are you guys doing? So we had really, really poor refereeing tonight. I have to say that off the bat. Crazy. Anyway. First off, like I said, absolutely shocking. We were getting outplayed. We were getting severely outplayed. Crazy. And it was weird because I saw the lineup and I thought, you know what? The selection that was made in terms of the players that were on the pitch, cool. But in terms of the positioning, I didn't quite know what was going on. I mean, we had Cucurella playing at right back. I was like, oh my God. But at the same time, I'm actually quite thankful we were playing in a back four because it allowed Maatsen and Palmer to get into really good attacking positions where they were actually quite effective. Palmer in particular, we're going to come to him when I talk about the second half. But it was good to have that sort of shape of the players that we've been calling for how long? And lo and behold, we had Chilwell at left back and Colwell at centre back. I've been waiting to say that for about 8 weeks. Oh, it's amazing. Finally. Actually, no, not 8 weeks. I'm stressing. I'm going a little bit overboard here. 6 weeks. 6. I'm looking at the calendar. 6 weeks. So we see that back four. Finally, happy days, you know. And the players that we didn't want playing didn't get chosen. As I said, we had Cole Palmer playing. We had Mudryk starting. Okay, cool. Let's see what was going to happen. But the first half for me was a surprise because I didn't think that we would be that much off the ball. I knew we'd be off the ball compared to how we were against Villa because Brighton liked the ball. But I didn't think it'd be that much. And when you're not on the ball, when you're off the ball, I expect at least to be able to have a plan in order to nick the ball in certain places and launch some lethal counterattacks and get the game to work in your favour. And we weren't doing that whatsoever. Bloody hell, we were misplacing pass here, misplacing shot, player gives the ball away, goalkeeper sabotaging the team. I was worried Sanchez was going to flip and score an own goal on purpose at one point. It looked like what he was doing was on purpose. Giving the ball away twice to Brighton. Goes for a goal kick, goes out that way. Goes for a goal kick, goes out that way. I'm like, what's going on here? Crazy. But we went in at 0-0, and I'm like, thank goodness, because it could have been worse. We come for the second half, and it was like a different Chelsea. And this is what I'm saying. I'm glad that whatever happened at halftime happened, because it was clearly a... You start to get in your head and you start to think like, no, these players just don't know what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. They're just not good. But then they start to click in certain moments and you start to see things that we weren't seeing just 10 minutes ago in the first half. But the second half, all of a sudden, they know what they're doing. And then we get that first goal. And when that first goal happens, which I have to say, just on the brink of the second half beginning, we get that first goal. Nicholas Jackson. You see what Cole Palmer was doing? Man, Cole Palmer. This is why we've been calling for Palmer to start in the 10. Anyone that wants to try and defend, even Gallagher going into that 10 position ahead of Cole Palmer, you got your answer tonight as to why a lot of us, I've been saying fans, I'm not talking about content creators, I'm not just saying us in terms, I'm talking about fans. I've seen what a lot of you have said on socials, I've seen what many Chelsea fans have been saying, we've all been calling for the same thing. Cole Palmer needs to play in the 10. There's your answer. The quickness, the technicality, not just the quick feet, but the composure and the intelligence to know exactly what to do the moment he turns his body. It was a very quick moment for him to get the ball turned and realise Jackson was there, ready. Gave him the perfect weighted assist. Jackson, all you got to do, hit it in. That's it. You don't even need to run with it. You don't need to look up. You know where the goal is? Hit it in. It's exactly what he did. 1-0. And this was, by the way, if Jackson didn't score tonight, it would have been, I would think, his worst performance in the Chelsea shirt. He was dreadful in that first half. But the second half, the moment he scores, all of a sudden, it's pre-season Jackson again. You see the way that he was moving after he scored, the confidence that all of a sudden just lifted, and then you start to think, and it's not just him though. The moment we got that first goal, everyone started to lift themselves. Everyone started to act a little bit more confident. Everyone started demanding the ball a little bit more. Everyone started to give that extra push in terms of the sprint, in terms of the run here, in terms of the pass that's quicker, in terms of the movement that's faster. Everyone all of a sudden had a spring in their step. And I'm like, bloody hell. You know, come on, let's go. You start to see that and you think, come on, let's flipping go, let's go. So, really, really good to see what Jackson did after he scored that goal. Albeit, it looks like he's done some damage to his hand, but he'll be fine, I'm pretty sure of it. And he got the second goal. Again, Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson. But again, that wasn't offside, flip a country mile. But you see his finish? It's a harder finish in terms of the ones that he's been missing. It just goes to show. When there's a spring in your step and you're confident and you know that you've got the composure to control the ball, to put the perfect weight on the ball, to run at the perfect pace, to pick out a place, to put it there, it's all in the confidence. And Nicholas Jackson, the moment he got that first goal, was a clear example of that. So overall, and then he had to come off later because of his hand. So fair play, terrible performance at first, but ended up being, I think, one of his highlights in the Chelsea shirt. Crazy how things can just automatically change. Brighton didn't help themselves either, we have to be honest. I'm going to take a really, really quick moment to speak about Brighton because I feel like Brighton could have killed this very early on, and I felt like they got a little too complacent, thinking, yep, it's just going to be a walk in the park. And that's a mistake. Because the truth is, you never know when your opposition, even if they're in the mud right now, are just going to switch it on, if they have to. You never know. You can't take that risk. You've got to be clinical and you've got to be lethal. They had a bit of rotation and they were still moving the ball really nicely. You can see how much of a well-oiled and well-drilled machine Brighton are. No matter who plays, it's just brilliant to see. But they couldn't finish their dinner. They couldn't. And that could have been killed in the first half, like I said. But in terms of some of the other players today, Ben Chilwell at left-back, playing at left-back, helped, didn't it? Flipping out, not for him, because I think he had a alright game, but in terms of the balance, that's what it did. Because Colwell at centre-back today, brilliant. Lo and behold, Colwell plays well at centre-back. Wow, we didn't know that was going to happen. It's unbelievable. Cucurella at right-back, I thought the first half was absolutely horrific, but the second half, much like the others, I don't know what happened. He turned into prime, I don't know, Cafu. That's taking it a bit too far. But he was winning challenges. He was getting stuck in. He was timing his runs better because in the first half, Mitoma was cooking him at moments for fun. Mitoma was just jogging past him for fun. I'm like, Cucurella, mate, what are you doing? This is horrible. Second half, different Cucurella. Even the midfield, Ugochukwu and Caicedo. Ugochukwu, as I said, didn't have the best game. He could have been sent off. Caicedo first half, I have to be honest, absolutely dreadful. But that's like everyone. But the second half, more control, more composure. I'm like, what's going on? Everyone's all of a sudden just switched on. I mean, great, finally, fantastic. We've waited how long to see it, but something, in order for it to switch like that means it's completely mental. It means there's nothing to do with your ability. It's just in the head. All of you in the head. You ain't right up here. You haven't got that belief or confidence in yourselves whatsoever or in each other. Second half, as I said, I don't know what happened, but it worked. Same goes for Mudryk. Very bright. Very bright. Bit by bit, he's not there yet, of course. And we're looking to Mudryk because price tag, because of what to expect, because of the style of play that he is. You think he's going to be the talisman when you look at a profile of a player like Mudryk. But first half was okay. Going into the second half, you could see even he was getting into his element. And it's really, really good to see. Bit by bit, he's not there, much like everyone else isn't there. But bit by bit, I think Poch is working wonders in terms of the way that he's coaching him individually. We saw the whole thing yesterday about the crossbar challenge, and I want to highlight this because I feel like people are misreading the situation. People are looking at what Mudryk said, what Mudryk did in terms of the crossbar challenge with Pochettino, and how Pochettino kept beating him up until, because Poch spoke about that in the press conference, up until when Poch said that, oh no, we drew. You know, the last one we managed to draw, so he finally didn't lose one. Everyone's like, oh, he lost to Poch or in a crossbar challenge. That's not my problem. It's a crossbar challenge. You can lose to anybody in a crossbar challenge. If you play the crossbar challenge, you could lose to the next door neighbour in a crossbar challenge. Because there's an element of luck there sometimes, let's be honest. But it's about what Poch said, that Mudryk said. I don't want to play against you anymore because you always win. That's my problem. I have a problem with that statement alone. No Chelsea player at this level should say such a thing, even as a joke, unless things are going really, really well for you on the pitch in real time where it matters, and you have a little kick about, and as a joke you go, I don't want to play with you anymore. You know, like something like that, cool. But when things are not going well for you, and your manager comes out publicly to tell everyone that you said that, I don't want to play against you because you always win, nah. No matter what it is, a competition it is, even if it's a little friendly thing between you two, you go out to win. That's the mentality that every Chelsea player needs to have. You know, at the warm-up earlier on before the game, you all saw Chilwell go to the players, make sure you warm up well. I mean, do players at this level really need reminding that they need to warm up well? Come on. Like, do you know what I mean? It's the little things. Those little things, you pick them up and it doesn't sit well. But when you go and get the job done on the pitch, cool. That's what matters. And Mudryk right now looks like bit by bit he's being coached, and he has to develop a killer mentality, a killer's instinct. You know, ruthless, professional, emotional control, like we like to say, but ruthless. Be a killer, you know. And that might come with a bit of time. But Pochettino, I think, is coaching him well. But everyone else, like I said, look, Ian Maatsen, bright, especially in the second half, bright. Great to see. Overall, it's just we needed this. I don't care how it was done, but we needed it. We needed it. And man of the match today for me has to be Cole Palmer. By a mile. Has to be Cole Palmer. The guy was a pleasure to watch in terms of a distorted and unconfident Chelsea team that's on the brink of uncertainty. It's good to see Cole Palmer being able to, you can see he was developed by Pep Guardiola. You can just see it in the way that he plays, the way that he moves, you can just notice it. But please keep going. And for the love of God, if he's not in the starting 11 on Monday, Poch has lost his mind. I don't care. I don't care. Now, towards the end, it seems like Chilwell picked up some sort of an injury. Hope it's not serious. And Caicedo was holding his knee. No surprise, because he's played 90 twice since he's came back. So there's that. In terms of the players that came on, we had Sterling come on for Mudryk. Nothing really happened, but anyway. Enzo coming on for Cole Palmer. I don't mind that one. Albeit it's a little weird, but Gallagher came on later anyway for Ian Maatsen. For the same sub. So Conor Gallagher basically moved into the more offensive position and Enzo came a little deeper. But it was more of Chelsea starting to just defend. You notice towards the end, Chelsea were just defending, protect the lead. And that's the right thing to do. That's okay. That's what I said in my 5 things. When you're having to protect a result, right? You're winning 1-0 or whatever and you think, screw it, I'm going to shut shop now. We have to protect the result. Protect the result. Because if you get a win, that's what's going to get you the confidence. That's what's going to help. That's what's going to build. Win on win. Let people critique. Let people say, oh, you played rubbish. Who won? That's what I've been saying in terms of the games that we're losing, because we talk about XG and we talk about, I don't care. What's the score? Today, what's the score? Yeah? Now we're going to flip it. Because before we'd look at Chelsea losing and go, I don't care about your stats. What's the score? Chelsea lost. Today, I'm going to flip it. I don't care about your stats. What's the score? Chelsea won. That's all I'm concerned about. So Brighton, enjoy the trip back. Enjoy the trip back. I don't care. But Armando Broja coming on for the last 10, 15... Actually, no, it was less. Bloody hell, I thought it was 80s, 87. Broja coming on, and you know what? Had to be done because Ned Jackson was clearly in a lot of discomfort, and I hope his hand's okay. But there we are. Overall, look, what started off really horribly ended up, it seems, being managed very, very well by Pochettino in the second half, at halftime, whatever happened, and Chelsea getting more confidence, more composure, and seeing it through towards the end where they were defending that result, and Brighton had no answer. When Chelsea were defending, Brighton simply didn't have an answer in those last 10-15 minutes. Chelsea looked a lot more stronger, present, there for each other, harder to get through. So we have to ask the question, is a lot of the problems that Chelsea have been going through all up here? Not really in terms of the ability of the players. The players clearly have the ability. Because I started to get worried, I'm not going to lie. I even said it. I'm like, yo, a lot of these players don't look like they're good enough. They just don't look like they're good enough. Maybe there's not just a case of them not being good enough and at the same time them not being confident. Maybe it is all just confidence. Maybe it is just all mental. Maybe it is just all having to just claw out a couple of results and eventually things might start to get clicking. But it's down to Poch as well, because a system needs to be played, and you have to get the win at all costs. So as long as they can play in a system, we see Brighton the way that they play in a system. The way that they play their football is in a complete system, and they get the job done no matter who is on the pitch. And they have young guys too. Let's not use that card too much. They have young guys too, but they play their football. Today, in the second half, whilst we were still 0-0, and we were lucky that it was still 0-0, we managed to turn it in our favour and we got the job done. So credit to Poch and credit to the team that woke up and the players that got the confidence, especially after that first goal, and saw it through and got a win. That's all that matters. So now, carry that forward, take it to Monday, take it to Fulham, and go and get a win. And if that happens, we can honestly start talking about us being able to change the way that this season is going. We can. Because if we win, we won today. If we beat Fulham, if we beat Burnley, 3 wins on the bounce, thank you very much, we can start clicking. Just in time to play Arsenal after the international break. It has to be now. It has to be now. We can't slip up one more time. It has to be now, so go and get it. Simple. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for another one. So thank you all very much for watching. Do not forget, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below in regards to everything that you saw today. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. As I said, there'll be a brand new video tomorrow. I think it will be just the one, not two. So keep your eyes peeled tomorrow for a video that will be dropping. And don't forget to check out the socials. They are on screen and in the description right now. So click there, hit there. Much appreciated. Give us the follow and enjoy all the extra little bits and pieces, all Younes Talks Football. And I will see all of you tomorrow for another one. Thank you all so much for watching. Chelsea got a goal. Chelsea got a goal of the month. Chelsea got a win. Finally, I can go to sleep in peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.